Hi everybody, you're watching Press TV World News. This is a live broadcast from Tehran with me, Behruz Najaf. It's good to have you with us. Now, beginning with Myanmar, opponents of the ruling junta in that country have mourned the killings of at least 114 people by security forces on Saturday. That was the bloodiest day since the military coup on February the 1st. Children were among those killed. The UN investigator says that the army is carrying out mass murder. Saturday also brought some of the heaviest fighting since the coup between the army and the ethnic armed groups that control swathes of the country. Myanmar has been in turmoil since the army toppled de facto leader Aung San Suu Kyi on several charges. So far, more than 440 people have been killed in the unrest. Now from Bangkok, I'm joined by Phil Robertson, Deputy Asia Director of the Human Rights Watch. Good to have you with us, Phil. 114 people killed in just one day. That's a big number. How much longer is this going to go on?
Well, it's a very good question. Yesterday was Myanmar Armed Forces Day, and before that, the state broadcaster said that anybody who came out in protest would be shot in the head. And quite clearly, the murderous military in Myanmar carried out that threat. We've now got, since the coup, 423 people who have been killed, including 20 children, according to Save the Children. And the killings yesterday included, a 6-year-old child, a 5-year-old child. We also had a 1-year-old who was hit in the eye with a rubber bullet and will probably lose that eye. It's outrageous and unacceptable that, Myanmar's military is doing this. And, there needs to be real action by the international community, starting with a UN Security Council resolution to impose a global arms embargo on Myanmar and make sure that the murderous military there doesn't have the capacity to restock itself with the weapons and other things that they're using against their people.
Phil, what gives the junta ruling Myanmar now this audacity? I mean, to simply in broad daylight kill people, threaten them to shoot them in the head, as you said rightly. And do you think that international organizations like you said, the Security Council, could really do something to stop this?
Well, I think that the military there sees itself as a group apart and above society, that they have the idea that they are entitled to rule. It's important to remember that Myanmar was a military dictatorship for almost 5 decades before the transition to democracy that started in 2011. And they believe that they can do whatever they want to the Myanmar people. That is the fundamental problem. And they've never really been held accountable in a systematic way by the international community, and that needs to change. I think that it's very possible that if the UN Security Council doesn't act, we might see action by a coalition of like-minded countries willing to come together for some sort of emergency conference. And that's what the UN Human Rights Special Rapporteur on Myanmar has just called for. Tom Andrews made that demand yesterday, and I think it's absolutely correct to say that if the UN Security Council is not going to act because of the opposition or blocking of action by China and Russia, then the international community has to find another way to act.
Okay, appreciate your comments. Phil Robertson, Deputy Asia Director of the Human Rights Watch, who joined me out of Bangkok.